Wow, wasn't that amazing? Did you not all really enjoy that? I did, and if you did enjoy that, please consider liking the video and leave a comment. Tell me what you liked. Tell me what you didn't like. Tell me something that I should change. Could be anything. It could be anything. Welcome back, all you beautiful sons of bitches, and here we are again with another Space Engineers video. Wow, we're on a roll. Today I wanted to show off a little ship that I designed in Christmas spirit as it is coming up this upcoming month. I wanted to make a ship that's based around winter. I mean, it has nothing really to do with snow or snow activities or anything, but it's named the Snowhawk, which means it's related to Christmas, right? Anyways, I'm going to take you through this ship and show you its capabilities and what it can really do. So, let's just jump right into it, shall we? So here it is, this beautiful ship. Wow. Like, honestly, wow. This is the Blue Hawk. Wait, this is the Snowhawk, and I am in love with it. It's a small ship, and it's particularly large. But I've had this crazy obsession with trying to make a ship, like a small ship that you can walk inside and have a little bit of a like interior. Like it makes a little more sense to do it for a larger ship, but sometimes it's hard. You can't get all the details. You can't make it look as smooth and as sleek as you want. There's a fine line. Like there's a certain point when in a small ship that you get and you're like, well, at this point I might as well just make a large ship. Anyways, that was a long explanation. Let's talk about the shape, the overall body of this. Now, when I was building this, I kind of started with just this like light gray section. There was no color, pretty much nothing. But as I started building out the engines, once I got kind of like a rough shape, I started picking where I wanted things to be exposed. So these dark gray sections. So instead of having this big cylindrical like engine, which is like pretty common on most ships, I kind of wanted to have like little line engines almost, or like maybe it's like, I don't know how you would explain it. So I'm pretty pleased with it, and it looks great. Like everything's tucked away nice, and I try to, without cluttering it too much, like some of these angles don't perfectly match up, as you can tell, but I wanted to make some recesses. I wanted to make some parts where it wrapped around the thrusters. There's probably a little more detail, but honestly, when you build a ship kind of like to this level of detail, you just kind of keep messing around with different shapes, different protrusions, greebly blocks, and for instance, right here where I actually have the reactors, there's two reactors, one on this side and one on that side. I added these blast door blocks as kind of like a grate or a vent. I know there is like a ventilation block, but I have kind of an obsession with like the look of these big thick grates. I did the same thing on the front here, as if, you know, when it's flying in atmosphere, an easier way for it to cool down is to just suck air through those vents. Another thing that I did is I decided to have missiles with this ship, and I was going to put a small hinge there, but the large hinge actually looks a lot nicer with the whole build and makes it look very robust. I believe it'd actually be more durable in like a legit situation. If you're in a dogfight, this hinge would last a lot longer than the tiny little hinge. So I'm actually pleased with using this large hinge to attach the wing to. Having these reloadable rocket pods, you could do many strafing runs with this ship. And that's another thing. I wanted this ship to be jack of all trades. We have everything. We even have this tiny little turret, which I'll show you the inside, as you kind of saw in that cinematic. But we have an automated turret right here. Super simple. Doesn't have a huge range of motion. Like, it doesn't shoot directly up. But in a dogfighting situation, if someone's tailing you from behind, this turret has no problem defending you while you're flying. And hence why it's facing backwards, is it's kind of used as like a dorsal turret, like it's supposed to protect the backside of your ship. And then if we come to the front, you'll notice that we have not super symmetrical, but symmetrical gun mounts. We have on the right side of the ship, we have these autocannon, which is probably your main gun that you'd be using in a dogfighting situation against vessels the same size as this. And then we have an assault cannon, and that is used for a nice precise hit. We have cameras for each gun as well, just to get a more accurate shot. Now let's get to the back side of this ship, shall we? Coming to the back, you'll notice that we have these beautiful, almost grasshopper looking landing gears, which I'm super impressed with. And they tuck away in the back there, so it looks like it's perfectly in line with the ship. It looks like it's just meant to be there, hence the design. That's kind of what I wanted to do. Now, you can access this ramp at the back here. It tucks away. Look how clean that looks. Oh, we'll go ahead and press that again just to open it up, and you'll just jump up here and you can come into this section. So you can also close it from the inside with that button right there, and you'll close this. And now this is pretty much the airlock. So we have no oxygen in it right now, but as soon as we open this door, O2 will flood into there. So now we have oxygen. We can close that up, so if anyone wants to come in, they can use that airlock. And we are in the main hallway of the ship. Very simple, very subtle. You know, I was thinking of having like kind of like a little kitchenette here, maybe some lockers there. Actually, I really wanted to add that, so let's just go ahead and do that. Just some sort of weapon rack there. Maybe not mirrored. Maybe I don't want it on both sides. Oh, that looks pretty sick. I didn't even know I had this little access panel. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So we'll have that there, and that's kind of like a little access panel for these gyroscopes. Maybe they just amp up the voltage or amp up the power. But yeah, so these are where the gyroscopes are. That's literally where they sit. There's no more hiding throughout the ship. So, I mean, if you need to do repairs on them or get rid of them, they're just right there. Coming to the midsection of the ship on our right, we have our cryo chamber, and or would be our sleeping quarters, but there's no actual bed for small ships, not like you would need it. But I mean, in even a multiplayer setting, this would be perfect for you to log off and log out. You go in here, and we have this little blue light to just kind of access the area, as well as the blue chamber. Then on the left side, just a polar opposite, we have the red kind of tinge light and a seat here. And as you can see, this is the turret control. So you would just go in, you can see I have a little text panel there saying that the turret status is online, safety is offline and ready to destroy. So let's just go ahead and hop into that turret just so I can show that off. So here we are inside the little turret. You'll notice that we have just, you know, some basic range or basic movement. We can't look all the way up. So if I get into my spectator cam, we'll just take a look at that turret. Yeah, so it's just super basic. I like it. Like, I like how simple it is just for this ship, you know, just a small tiny turret that will help you out in any combat situation. We can go ahead and we can fire it. And I believe if we go over here, it shouldn't hit the wing. I'm not going to tell. Oh, okay, so it hits the wing. When the wing is pointing up in landing position, it will hit it. But once the wings go down, this Gatling gun shouldn't actually hit the wings. So I planned it out perfectly for that reason, 100%. All right, so we'll go ahead and jump out of there, come into the cockpit. Now here we are. We've got oxygen in here as well, and it's got a little bit of detail. We got this little ridged area. It's just to add a little more color. And if we come here, we'll notice that we have this offset seat, because, you know, little offset things just add that extra bit of detail. Having too much symmetry kind of like takes away from the realism of a ship. Like, you think of a car, right? Like, a car is like symmetrical, but the driver's seat is on the left side, depending where you live. Could be on the right, could be in the middle. But there's a lot of asymmetry and a lot of symmetrical things. So I tried to implement that into a lot of my designs. So if we hop inside the ship, we can get ready to fly away. And how we do that is we disengage our landing gear. We will turn on our thrusters, give us a little bit of height, and we will go into flight mode. And I just love how the landing gear tuck away like that. And you may notice that in the front as well, we pop out our landing gear. We have a tiny little piston that just makes it so that both at the back and the front are at the exact same level. Just a tiny little detail, helps out the ship when it lands. But as you can see, in flight mode, everything's tucked away. The wings go down for that extra maneuverability. Obviously it doesn't do shit, but it looks fucking cool. And if you notice that when we accelerate, it is pretty fast, pretty maneuverable. We've got more thrust for upward thrust than we do downward, just because it is kind of heavy in terms of a ship. And I did have to add some extra thrusters at the front. You can see right there, right below the reactors. Here, I'll take some pot shots and I'll just start shooting some of the guns just so you can get an idea of its firepower. So we have the auto cannons. You can switch over to the assault cannon. Shoot that bad boy. We have our missile pods that we can just continuously shoot. You kind of have to like aim down, fly up, but you get the idea. Oh, one last thing I'd like to just kind of show off is that on the back, right below the ramp, you do have access to cargo, and all in this bottom part is just small cargo containers. So if you do use this in some sort of survival situation or some sort of mission, you can have all your storage and cargo right in here, easily accessible. You could load up your ship with all the ammunition that you need. Perfect design, as always. But that's all I have for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this one. And if you did, again, please leave a like, comment what you liked, what you didn't like. I know I'm not trying to, I don't want to hound on about it, but it really does help me, the channel, grow if you just like it and let me know what you liked about it. Let me know what you didn't like. I love feedback so much, negative or positive. It doesn't matter. It's nice to know. It's really nice to know. But that's all I have for today, and thank you for tuning in this week. And next week, maybe we'll have another Space Engineers video. Maybe we'll have something different this week, but stay tuned for that. Anyways, as always, this has been your host, Chonkers, playing Space Engineers once again, now signing out.